Tyler, 2 stage wins and the green jersey. You must feel that things are back on track.
Oh yeah, totally. I really kind of wondered why I was coming here at first. I looked at the profiles, and I mean, it's a high altitude climbers race, and I kind of said, what's the point of me even going? But now I'm glad I came. Obviously, it's worked out pretty well, and I think I kind of feel like my old self again, and that's nice.
Everybody's been waiting for your old self to come back.
Yeah.
We're extremely happy to see you cross that finish line first. Take me through the last couple K. It didn't seem like that fast of a sprint because of the battling for position. Tell me a little bit about how that went down.
Oh, it was a really non-technical circuit with it's huge roads. There's lots of room for people to move, so no team can really organize perfectly on a circuit like that. So it was chaotic, and everyone had to dive around a bit and find the right wheel. And I got a little boxed around 300, 250, and kind of had to squeeze through on the fence. And luckily, I made it through before it closed. And yeah.
What's going through your head when you're trying to squeeze through that gap?
Just looking at the guy in front of me, going, "Don't move, don't move, don't move." But
are you just like no matter what saying no brakes and just taking that chance to get across that line first?
We'll see. Luckily he didn't move, so I didn't have to make that decision.
Your team has been extremely active this entire race. For a lot of us, it's kind of like almost like a new Garmin Sharp that we've been seeing. What's your feelings on the way the team has been racing?
I think we've raced a lot of the stage races conservatively in the past. And we kind of just said, let's try something different. We've been second and third on the final podium a lot of times in California and Colorado and everywhere else. And we said, let's go for broke. And maybe it's a little all or nothing. I hope we come up Sunday with all of it.
Well, you came up with it today, first on the podium today. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Taylor, your team was definitely controlling the front. Obviously, keep TJ out of trouble, but also setting you up. Take me through that final couple kilometers.
Yeah, I told him that I wanted to go for the sprint today, and at the same time, TJ wanted to stay out of trouble, and a circuit like this is perfect for us to control. It's Criterium, America style. I felt great all day. First stage I had a crash, and I just been kind of digging myself out of a hole, and today was the first day that I felt sort of semi-normal, and yeah, second's good, but I left it a little late and got boxed in by Tyler, and yeah, for me it was all right, better than fourth place.
If the space would have been open, do you feel like you had the speed to maybe able to match Tyler?
Yeah, I felt like when I really opened up, I was definitely closing in on him, but he got the jump, and sprinting's not really about who's the fastest most of the time. It's about being smart and but I'm happy with Tyler. He's had a tough year, and to get 2 wins here is great, and this is a good confidence booster for me. Looking forward to the time trial on Sunday.
All right, great ride. Thank you.
46.8 k an hour.
It seemed like a fast one. They were saying for a while there was like almost an average of 50 k an hour. What kind of caused that?
Yeah, we just had good tailwind the whole time, and of course mostly downhill, but it was still a hard day, but incredibly fast.
They had the break went off early on. It seemed like BMC really did a lot of the chasing on the final circuits at the end instead of the sprinter teams. Explain a little bit of that strategy.
Well, probably it was just to keep TJ out of trouble, certainly keep him from crashing, keep him up front for the sprint so he doesn't get passed by Christian. Because you got to remember, if Christian passes him and he's got 10 guys on his wheel, then of course he's going to take the jersey away from him too. So I would assume it was just to keep him safe, because there's not much reason to pull it back for a sprint, although maybe they got something going, but I doubt it. United Healthcare did most of the work all day, really. So BMC just did it once we got into the park area there.
And once you came into the park area here, it started to drizzle, the rain. What were the courses like?
Yeah, it's not bad. The rain just held off enough to where we were still getting some traction with the tires. Felt maybe coming out of the first and second corner here, because they got a lot of white paint stripes there, where I'd slide a little bit there, but the rest of the course was pretty smooth. It wasn't bad at all.
How important and big a day is tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the day. I mean, it really is. It's this whole week has just been about gaining a little bit of time here or there, or guys losing a little bit of time, but you couldn't gain anything massive, and tomorrow will be the one day where BMC's really got to hold together. Are you sure Garmin's going to be on the attack again? I can almost guarantee we're going to be on the attack. So we don't have anything to lose. And we got a lot of guys on GC, so we'll send everybody we can.
We look forward to watching an exciting race. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Hi, welcome to Race Radio from Stage 5 of the USA Pro Challenge. I'm Joe Lindsay. I'm here as always with Frankie Andreu, and we're here in Colorado Springs, which is home to the United States Olympic Committee, the USA Cycling, and U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, which was in the news yesterday with the announcement from Lance Armstrong that he would not not contest the charges that USADA filed against him. USADA has also announced their intent to strip him of his Tour de France title. So that was kind of the backdrop this morning, Frankie. It was sort of a lightly touched on subject around the buses, but nobody was really dwelling on it.
No, a lot of the journalists were talking about it, but a lot of the riders were just focused on the race. And today we went from Breckenridge to Colorado Springs. Everybody knew it was going to be a sprint finish. They had 3 finishing circuits here. Pretty much they had to get over Hoosier Pass. The attack started immediately as these guys were trying to fight for those KOM points.
Yeah, and this was really, I think, the first kind of conventional stage that we've seen, one where you had the early break go, get the time gap, and then they brought them back to the finish. They did the circuits, ended up with a sprint.
Well, before that, though, when the break actually got away, Colorado was in there, and he was the danger man at 45 seconds.
Right.
So all the other guys said, hey, get out of the break. They kicked him out of the break, so they had a chance to be able to make it to the finish. And as you said, then it became standard protocol. United Healthcare riding a lot to be able to keep everything in check. Coming on those final circuits, though, there was 3 riders that still had about a 15-second gap.
Yeah, and you saw a lot of people kind of launching late attacks. You saw 2 Liquigas guys launch late attacks. You saw Nathan Haas from Garmin Sharp launch a late attack. So it really wasn't as controlled as it might have appeared. You could see them as they were coming through with 3 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go. They're almost coasting across the line at points.
Yeah, I mean, it was a slower sprint, so that made it more dangerous. Luckily, there was no crash. A little bit more chaotic. You see riders getting boxed in, trying to find their way out. But in the end, Tyler Farrar really showed he has the speed. Taylor Phinney matched him almost pedal stroke for pedal stroke, but Tyler coming out a little bit, and a nice sprint by Candelario.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice sprint by Candelario in 4th. So that was stage 5. Now, obviously, on to kind of the main event, the big weekend.
Now the green jersey's wrapped up because there's no more points, so Tyler's going to take that. But as you were saying, we go on to Boulder now.
Yeah, Golden to Boulder. Tomorrow's stage is 166 kilometers, 103 miles. There's over 10,000 feet of climbing with 3 KOMs. We finish on top of Flagstaff, and everybody that I talk to basically says that it's going to come down to that for the final. You won't see many big attacks from the GC guys before that.
No, they're going to wait for the end on Flagstaff and then go. I think Garmin will be aggressive, trying to put somebody in the break before that just to force the other team to chase. But in the end, nobody's going to get isolated. It's not like a big mountain where you're going to drop everybody. Almost everybody's going to come together. Like the big GC guys are going to come together at the bottom of Flagstaff. And we saw the time gaps that have occurred on the last 2 mountaintop finishes. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, 2 times as long, 3 times as long?
Yeah, it's about 2 times as long, but the steep part is at the bottom, and then I think you might see a small group kind of get back together after that, and you could see 5, maybe 10 guys coming to the line up there. So one interesting thing about that is, as we get back to today's finish, TJ Van Garderen in 14th, Christian Vandevelde back in 29th, so we've been relying on those tiebreakers the last few days to determine who's in the jersey. That's out of the picture now. Christian is way back.
Unless TJ finishes 35th tomorrow, then it could come back into play. But what's going to happen, Christian needs to attack, Horner needs to attack, any of these other guys need to attack because TJ, I think on paper, is the best time trialist.
Yeah.
So they need to get time. TJ can follow, the other ones need to attack to try to distance themselves. It's got to happen on Flagstaff because after that, we're in Denver for that final TT.
Yeah, so far, the race has come down to this kind of dueling tactics between BMC and Garmin. Garmin has their, send a guy, throw it, be aggressive strategy, kind of make it the whack-a-mole strategy. Every time they send somebody up, BMC has to chase them down and that kind of thing. Both of those tactics have so far worked out almost perfectly because these guys are tied on overall time. Tomorrow is where we see which one of those is actually going to start to play out to be the advantage. If they come to the line together, then it's advantage BMC. Obviously, if Christian comes to the line with an advantage on TJ, then it's advantage Garmin. So that's Race Radio here from Stage 5 of the USA Pro Challenge. I'm Joe Lindsay. This is Frankie Andreu. Thanks for joining us. I think he's going to land on somebody's head and he's going to get sued.
Oh, it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, there goes into the podium. Oh, right into the beer tent.